Story behind what's not caught on camera.
Unexpected discovery, what a geologist stumbled upon in a local creek that has an entire county coming together in search.
He is a Cleveland institution. We all know that, and a very important part of our Fox 8 family. Tonight we look back at the remarkable career of Dick Goddard as we close in on 24 hours until his final forecast. I'm Lou Maglio.
I'm Tracy McCool. Fox 8 News at 6 starts now.
Cleveland's own Fox 8 News.
And good evening. The Fox 8 I-team has uncovered the story you haven't seen about police body cameras.
What exactly is happening when they are not rolling? The I-team reporter Ed Gallick is here now, and you have done some investigation on this. Ed, what have you found out?
Well, you can call it a body camera crackdown. The I-team has found police officers getting in trouble over body cameras, not recording video, or suddenly not having their cameras.
Stop.
We see what we've never seen before at crime scenes thanks to Cleveland police body cameras. But the I-team also finding body camera violations popping up on police discipline notices. So we investigated.
Everybody up behind us. We got everybody on the wall. Start handcuffing these people.
In recent months, a couple of Cleveland officers faced internal charges for not recording or stopping recording, quote, prior to completion of an investigation. A few others faced internal charges for not having their cameras, quote, failed to safeguard and secure the equipment.
Come on! Stop!
The cameras are a great tool.
Union President Steve Loomis says nothing sinister. He says some officers lost cameras that fell off as they ran after bad guys. And Loomis says officers caught not recording maybe didn't have time to start rolling.
So if that thing is not on, it's because A, something happened so quickly that they didn't have a chance. They had to react to it. Or B, they thought it was on. They hit the button and they thought it was on.
What kind of punishment is getting handed out? Well, the I-team checked disciplinary letters, verbal counseling. One officer had to reimburse the city, and we found one case of internal charges dismissed.
And they have to understand that they have a new level of responsibility.
Mike Nelson, a defense attorney and head of the NAACP. He says officers have to realize how critical body camera video is for justice.
Is to protect them as well as to protect those accused. And if you don't follow all those protocols, then it defeats the purpose.
Do you have anything on you? Okay, done.
Seems everyone's now watching for police body camera video, even asking why when it's not there.
Everybody's under arrest. Nobody is leaving.
So why did an officer have to pay back the city for a police body cam, and what happened to those lost? Well, City Hall not answering questions, telling us to file public records requests, which can take months. The chief's office also not commenting for this story.
So basically what we're taking away from your story is it's not as simple as turning the cameras on and turning them off.
It's really not. In fact, the NAACP says, well, maybe we need some more training, but the union says maybe we need less paperwork because the union says there's a police order that's about 13 pages long with all kinds of details about when to have them on and off and what you do with them.
All right, Ed, thank you.
Sure.
Well, he's been missing for more than a week now. Tonight, the family of a 16-year-old is absolutely devastated after the boy was found dead. Peggy Gallick is live. And Peggy, you have a lot more for us on this investigation tonight.
That's right, Lou. Alexander Mullins had been missing for 12 days. Family members searched for him and are completely heartbroken that he was found dead inside a vacant home on Cleveland's east side.
Why somebody would do this? Love you, Alex.
Close friends of 16-year-old Alexander Mullins stopped at this vacant house on East 54th Street in Cleveland on Monday to place a teddy bear on the porch. Police say the teenager was found dead inside the house late Sunday afternoon.
I'm shocked. I mean, he was a kid.
The boy's father told police that the last time he saw his son alive was when he dropped him off here at his school on November 9th. The Cleveland Metropolitan School District says they have counselors in the school who are available to help any students or faculty having a hard time with the news. Friends and family members say they have many questions about his death. Police reports state Mullins had been shot in his left chest area.
Last phone call was to 911, and I just don't understand why nobody came out his cell phone was pinging on East 50th Street, and I mean, they were searching for days.
His family had been actively searching for him, even having community members help with search parties.
A close friend.
And he's so close
and
to home.
It's so close to, you know, where we all live.
And it was just crazy because they walked up and down the street, and, you know, and he was right here the whole time.
Police are continuing to investigate.
It could have been my son. It could be anybody's son. No, I'm never going to forget Alex. He was a good kid. He was fun to be around.
Now, the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office is also investigating to determine the exact cause of death.
Peggy, I know it's still early in the investigation, but this is just a kid, a 16-year-old. Do police have any sense as to what might have happened?
No, right now they don't. You know, they're going back to kind of trace his steps to see what happened from the day that he was missing until now. And of course, they are looking at those cell phone records too. So hopefully we're going to get some answers very soon.
Hopefully that'll be the case. Peggy, thanks.
The case of a child killed in a drive-by shooting is now active again after charges against a suspect are dropped. Fox 8's Elizabeth Noreka is here now with the latest on this case. Elizabeth?
Tracy, it was a crime that shocked the city, even bringing Cleveland's chief of police to tears. But now no one is facing charges anymore. Back in October of 2015, 5-month-old Avia Wakefield was shot and killed while in a car with her mother at East 145th and Spear Avenue. A month later, U.S. Marshals arrested 19-year-old Avon Holmes. He was indicted on 13 counts, including aggravated murder. But today, the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office announced all charges against Holmes have been dropped. A spokesman for the prosecutor will only say charges were dismissed at the prosecutor's request and would not elaborate on the circumstances. 2 other men were also charged in this case, but those charges were also dismissed. That means more than a year after little Avia Wakefield was killed, no one is facing charges.
The investigation is ongoing. Elizabeth, thank you.
The Fox 8 team has learned police have found a car stolen outside of a daycare last month with a child inside. The thief started to drive away. Then he let out the little girl in the back seat. When he took off, the girl's mother had gone into the daycare to drop off another child. Since then, police have found the vehicle, but no arrests just yet.
3 people indicted in ATM smash and grabs across Cuyahoga County over the past 16 months faced a judge this morning. Trosky Banks, Malik Ward, and Jaquel Warner are all being held on $500,000 bond. Well, the 3 men are accused of working with 2 others targeting gas stations, convenience stores, and pharmacies throughout the area. They're also accused of stealing vehicles that were used in the crimes. Their 2 alleged accomplices have yet to be arraigned.
It was a dangerous and deadly weekend for police after 4 officers were shot in 4 separate cities, all within 24 hours. In San Antonio, Texas, an officer was killed and the suspect still has not been found. Detective Benjamin Marconi was 50 years old and spent almost half his life on the force there. San Antonio police say the suspect was briefly inside police headquarters before the shooting, barely long enough to ask the clerk a question and then walk out. It's not clear what he wanted, but the local police chief says it is clear who the target was.
I think the uniform was the target, and anyone who happened to, the first person who happened along was the person that he targeted.
In the meantime, in St. Louis, an officer was shot twice in the face by a suspect wanted for a string of other crimes. The officer will survive, but the suspect was killed by police. Then in Sanibel, Florida, an officer was shot and injured during a traffic stop. The suspect in that case was arrested, but not before trading gunfire with police. And in a Kansas City suburb, a teenage suspect shot a police officer after police say he took off running from a traffic stop. Police say he pulled a gun when they tried to arrest him. An officer was shot and injured there. The suspect was killed. Well, a very strong message tonight from the head of the Catholic Church.
Pope Francis now giving Catholic priests the power to forgive abortion. Fox 8's Jennifer Jordan here now with local reaction to all of this. Jennifer.
That's right, Tracy and Lou. A lot of people in the Catholic Church talking about this topic today. And an open letter released today by Pope Francis reaffirms the belief that abortion is a, quote, grave sin. But he is now continuing the running theme of his papacy, a theme also being carried out here in Northeast Ohio, mercy. A message of forgiveness being sent to the Catholic Church from its most powerful leader, Pope Francis, extending indefinitely to all Roman Catholic priests the power to forgive abortion, a right previously reserved for bishops.
For priests to absolve from the penalty that's associated with the sin of abortion.
Father Jonathan Zingales with the Diocese of Cleveland is also a pastor of 2 inner-city parishes in Akron and a church lawyer. He believes Pope Francis's mission is to make the word mercy synonymous with Catholic. Francis had already temporarily granted the power to all priests to give what is known as sacramental absolution for abortion during the Holy Year of Mercy, which ended on Sunday. But now that power will last for at least the rest of his papacy.
It's kind of a technicality for those of us in the United States because we've already been doing this for years and years.
Francis, who has made a more inclusive and forgiving Roman Catholic Church a characteristic of his papacy, made the announcement in a letter after Sunday's close of the Church's Holy Year of Mercy. He said he wanted to restate that abortion is a grave sin, but that there is no sin that God's mercy cannot reach and wipe away. The absolution would also trigger the simultaneous lifting of excommunication. The director of media and public relations with the Catholic Diocese of Cleveland believes Pope Francis is bringing about a much-needed change.
The Pope has expressed the fact that he wants to really be an open church and to allow people of all kinds to be able to have easier entry or participation in the church.
Now, the Year of Mercy is a period in which believers may receive special indulgences for their sins. Lou and Tracy, local church leaders stressing Pope Francis has forged a more forgiving, merciful direction for the church during his papacy. They're saying that this is pretty much just a sign of the time.
Yeah, all about forgiveness.
All about forgiveness.
Jennifer, thank you.
Well, it all started with a random decision by a geologist. Still ahead here tonight, what a local sheriff's office is trying to do after the scientists stumbled upon an urn. Maya.
Strong winds topple over this tree that then crushed a house. We'll have the details coming up in just a few minutes. Melissa?
Well, Maya, those were those winds of change from record highs to plummeting temperatures to snowfall over the weekend, and still today, it's very cold. Are temperatures going to moderate, and how will the weather cooperate for your Thanksgiving holiday? We have your forecast ahead in your 8-day.
Information, go to fox8.com.
And a holiday tradition returned to Public Square. The Cleveland Foundation's public ice skating rink opened this morning. This is the first time in more than a decade that a rink has been set up there on the square.
Slider there. Today's opening kicks off a week of activities as Winterfest returns to Public Square. It includes horse and carriage rides and the tree lighting fireworks show on Saturday.
We're very excited about all the activities here on Cleveland's new Public Square, and we're hoping the community comes down, celebrates, and really enjoys. We're going to have food trucks, other things for people to do on Saturday as well.
The rink will have a day of free ice skating this Saturday, including skate rentals, but tickets are required. But if you can't make it this weekend, that's okay. The rink will remain open through the end of February, and I know I would never be as good as she is.
Well, I was going to say that's Tracy McCool's twin sister. Boy, she was fantastic.
She was great.
Wow.
Well, it was a decent day today, but over the weekend, it was a much different story.
Really rough for a lot of people in a lot of places. Snow, hail, wicked winds taking its toll in one home, especially in Bay Village. Maya Balai is there to tell us more. And Maya, the visual there is absolutely stunning.
It is. It's incredible. Thankfully here, no one hurt, but very shaken up. This tree here, no match for the wind. You can see it was snapped right in half. Then check it out. The tree toppled right over on top of this house.
It was the ice storm and the hail was coming down that night. It was just so windy. It was scary.
When the temperature dipped and the winds whistled Saturday, few people felt it more than one unlucky neighbor in Bay Village.
We were just trying to keep busy and hoping that it would pass. And then this happened.
Strong winds sent Michelle Petron's massive tree crashing down right on top of her neighbor's house. Michelle showed me these pictures from inside the kitchen, right where the homeowner was standing moments before the tree blew through the roof.
His father is deaf, so he can't hear, so he wouldn't even heard anything if it had happened. You know, like if he was in the kitchen, he wouldn't even know it hit him.
I thought somebody got hurt, you know. It felt bad, you know. It was my tree that did, You know, all the emotions, you know.
Neither the homeowner or his son was injured. There wasn't much holding this tree up before it came crashing down, and now neighbors I talked to say that this tree isn't the only one they're worried about.
I'm very nervous now, so I'm going to have them inspected.
Michelle's house is surrounded by more trees towering over her home. Once a welcome sight, now a sign that a shift in the wind could bring a potential deadly danger.
The kitchen, ceiling is all caved in the bathroom upstairs as well. Like, their son was getting ready to take a shower. Good thing he didn't make it in there, or else he would be dead right now.
Really scary to think about. Thankfully, that is not the case. The family is again okay. They've been in a hotel since Saturday, since all this happened. But just a horrible thing to happen to you right before the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure it was just terrifying, but thankfully everybody was okay. Maya, thank you from Bay Village.
What a close call that was. Melissa is here now. Melissa, definitely we had our warmer days last week. Definitely feeling like winter now.
We knew it was going to be a shocker over the weekend, and it definitely was that. And the winds we're talking about, obviously, were winds of change when temperatures were plummeting very quickly. And on top of that, we were tapping into some lake effect snow. And for some areas, did get about 2 to 3, even a couple of areas got 4 inches of snow, exactly what we forecast for you last Friday evening. But you'll look at what was a beautiful sunset, which was at 5:03 this evening. And this was from the Chesterland camera. It's going to turn out to be a mostly clear sky overnight, which is going to mean another very chilly morning tomorrow, especially for the kiddos heading to the bus stop. So 38 was the official high temperature today, right around the 3 o'clock hour, a low of 30. 48 and 35 are considered the normals for highs and lows, so obviously running about 10 degrees below normal. Sunrise now around 7:23, and again sunset this evening at 5:03. We have these temperatures, middle and upper 30s right now, but the blue number is what it really feels like to your body as you're stepping outside. It feels like it's only in the upper 20s. Wind gusts are beginning to subside, but we still have winds that are still pretty active and cruising along around 10 to 20 miles per hour. You see the 40s and the 50s just to our south and west, and we are going to at least get back to the 40s starting tomorrow. But this progress is very slow with this temperature moderation, and nothing's extremely warm. Nothing like those record breakers last Friday. So I hope that you were able to enjoy at least some of that. It was just such a beautiful day. Here's a look at some of these snowflakes that have been occurring across portions of upstate New York, and many of those areas are seeing a lot of snow under lake effect snow warnings. Rochester, Syracuse, and really much of upstate New York in general. And then we have another system that's going to be heading in our direction. This system is going to begin to affect us with just rain showers. It'll be late in the evening on Thanksgiving Eve, so Wednesday evening. Here's a look at those winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories. Look at all of these shaded in white, some lake effect snow warnings for several more hours. So you can see it's really cranking off of Lake Ontario. Then you go to Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, and even New Mexico, and you see more winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings. For us, the next 24 hours, even the lake effect clouds, as we noticed in Chesterland towards Geauga County, things are beginning to break apart. So at least we're going to get a lot of sunshine under mostly clear to mostly sunny skies through the day tomorrow. The system approaches starting tomorrow evening. Not here just yet, though. So tomorrow night, what happens? We will notice more clouds in here, but it's still very, very quiet. No rain shower activity. Nothing going on Wednesday morning. Maybe you have off Wednesday to prep for Thanksgiving itself, and maybe you're doing a little traveling, some localized traveling. You're driving around town. Expect after about 6 o'clock for showers to arrive. So it's Wednesday evening that you'll run into some of those raindrops. Otherwise, tonight, mostly clear. Temperatures very cold to start tomorrow on your Tuesday. We're looking at mid-20s. And then highs around 40 tomorrow. Lots of sunshine. Not quite as cold, which is good news. We have a great forecast for Dick Goddard's last final forecast during Fox 8 News at 6 o'clock. It's tomorrow. Don't miss it. We're looking at low 40s Wednesday. Those rain showers move in. They're gone by early morning on Thanksgiving as you're watching maybe the Turkey Bowl on Fox 8 News in the morning. It's always fun to watch. Then on Friday for a little shopping, starts off dry, ending up with a chance of a rain and snow mix during the evening through early Saturday. But notice a lot of 40s and 50s here. So what happens is a very active pattern, you guys, and also some rain showers, chilly raindrops, and at times mixing, especially early morning hours and later in the evening when temperatures dip closer to freezing. Overall, though, no major winter storms we're looking at, and I think you can't complain on Turkey Day. Plus, We were on Friends, Family, and Good Food. What could go wrong? Tracy and Lou.
Complaints. And again, it could be much worse.
Could be a whole lot worse. No complaining about that at all. City leaders and independents unveiled new street signs today honoring our championship Cavaliers.
A section of Brecksville Road outside Cleveland Clinic Courts is now officially Cavaliers Way. That's right, outside where the team practices. The mayor also presented a key to the city to Cavs general manager David Griffin and others to honor the 2016 NBA champs.
Definitely worth the wait. That was magnificent. Well, another week and another loss. Another injured quarterback, too. JT tonight cluing us in on the latest Browns drama, and it's coming up in sports. John College is here now. John, we have heard this song before, haven't we, Tracy?
Yes, we have. Another loss for the Browns. So, JT, more change at the QB spot?
Absolutely is going to happen. As expected, Josh McCown will start on Sunday. The need for McCown to start became increasingly apparent with every time we saw Cody Kessler get knocked down. He has had to leave 3 of the 8 starts he's had this year. So Josh McCown takes over. He tries to lead an undermanned offense to the end zone a few times. Now, the team, we all know they're scuffling, but they should not be winless, even with so many young players. Today, Hugh Jackson said he spoke with Terrell Pryor about his comments Sunday about the hits taken by the quarterbacks. It's all good. However, don't question Pryor's desire to see this whole thing through.
I love playing for Hugh. I love playing for the Haslams. You know, they're great owners. You know, and they give us. I mean, it's one of the best facilities. You know, and they want to win. You know, and I don't believe in taking easy roads and going to teams just because the team's great. You know, and just because I want to win. I'd rather start, even if I have 5-6 years left to play this game. I'd rather start how we are and then build an empire. You know, a Top Gun franchise. And I believe in that. I believe in battling. I don't believe taking the easy way out in anything.
Well, it makes a lot of sense to sign this guy to an extension. He has the passion, the talent, and as you heard, wants to see this through. Pryor sounds like so many Clevelanders I know. Tough times, yes. Is there a way to make a bad thing better? Well, then get to work and see it through. And that's where the Browns are early in this rebuild process. They have to see it through. Tweak it, but see it through. Do anything less, that would be a disservice to true Clevelanders. Might a former Fox 8 Friday Night Touchdown Player of the Year be in the Browns sights? Well, keep it right here, as PJ will have that story later on here on Fox 8.
All right, JT, it's that week. It's time for the game, the big game. It's number 2 against number 3 OSU and Michigan.
It is going to be a while. You know, it has been a while since this game has had this much magnitude attached to it. Ohio State comes in having barely escaped Michigan State on the road on Saturday. The Buckeyes have had a big-time run over these years. Of course, Tressel's time as the head coach and now Urban Meyer. They've done well.
The difference is there's 47 seniors or something, some crazy number of experience. These guys have been here for a while, and they're grown men that have been playing for a while. So very, very good team, very talented. Has the gap closed. I don't know if I've ever considered a gap. You know, I always look at these two teams, and if there is, it doesn't matter.
That is true. Well, the John Carroll Blue Streaks, after beating Olivet soundly on Saturday, will play their their second rounder against Wesley on Saturday. And of course, as John Carroll prepares for Wesley, the defending national champions Mount Union are getting ready to take on Johns Hopkins in the second round of the D3 playoffs. Purple Raiders got back to their winning ways, defeating a team from New York. That's Hobart this past weekend. Cavaliers will have a full 4 days off in between their Friday night win over the Pistons and this coming Wednesday night's home affair against Portland. They will then host the Mavericks on Black Friday, as it were. And Jurgen Klinsmann, fired by the U.S. men's national team, certainly underperforming. Nobody knows it better than the soccer guru, Mr. Lou Maglio, right?
That's right. All right, Lou. Thanks, JT.
Sure thing.
Yeah, saw that one coming, didn't we? Well, more reports of exploding phones. This time, a different model, though, coming up at 6:30. What Samsung is saying in response to new claims of flammable smartphones. Also ahead here tonight, what a local landscaping company has been doing for the past year, all thanks to Dick Goddard. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Take Fox 8 News with you wherever you go. Breaking news, weather, and more, all on your phone. Brought to you by Serpentini Chevrolet. The Final Pope, a 12th century prophecy predicting the end of the world. And in 2016, is the controversial prediction playing out in front of our very eyes? The Final Pope, the clues at the Vatican. Tonight on Fox 8 News at 10.
The local sheriff's department is trying to solve a huge mystery involving a discovery made in a shallow creek.
What little information they have only deepens the mystery now. Dave Nethers has the story from the Fox 8 studio at the University of Akron.
This discovery made in a rural area of Richland County near Belleville by a geologist who was working in the area and decided to rinse his hands off in a creek. And this is what he found. It's an urn inscribed with the name of Casey Shawn, who died on April 14th, 1998 at the age of 11. The urn found in the water, and there's no way to know how it got there or how long it had been there. The Richland County Sheriff's Office has searched local and state death records. They found nothing. They believe the individual was not related to anyone with the same last name in the county, so they're hoping that someone out there might know who this was and help them reunite the remains with their family.
You know, the most important thing with us about this whole case is we want to get it back to the family. We want to make sure it gets into the proper hands. If we are not successful with that, we will find a respectful way to do something with it. We have to research that yet, but it will not be destroyed. It will not be discarded. We will make sure that it is treated respectfully.
So the Sheriff's Office believes that there may be information contained inside that urn that can help them not only identify this individual, but identify also the funeral home that cremated them, but they don't want to disturb it unless they're out of all other options. From the Fox 8 studio at the University of Akron, I'm Dave Nethers.
Police in Streetsboro need your help solving a cold case. More than 3 decades in the making. This is a picture of James Allen. Police say he was 44 years old when he was found dead inside Portage News, the adult bookstore where he worked back in 1981. Investigators say he'd been beaten and stabbed. The Attorney General says the cash register was empty, but they're not convinced this was a robbery. If you know anything about this case, call Streetsboro Police.
Traffic is finally back to normal in Youngstown now after a major pileup over the weekend. Authorities eventually shut down the roads in Mahoning County because it was so icy. Crews had to remove about 40 cars piled up on State Route 711. One car was rear-ended and the rest just piled up. Well, all month we have looked back at the legacy of Fox 8's Dick Goddard leading up to his final forecast, which, as you know, comes tomorrow. And we've found he's moved countless people by his love of animals. Fox 8 News reporter Matt Wright has a story of one local company inspired to give back.
We watch it typically around the clock.
When you're in the landscape and snow removal business, an accurate weather forecast matters.
Just all in the precipitation, how much salt we got to put down, how many plows we got to have prepped, how many guys we got to have ready.
So Doug Cantor of Cantor's Classic Lawn Care in Ashtabula has kept a close eye on Dick Goddard's forecast for more than 2 decades, and one night found inspiration to give back.
Just watching Dick one night, and that inspiration of everything he does for the dogs, and just crossed our mind, and you know what, let's do something back for the community and take care of the APL.
So Cantor donated a year's worth of landscaping services to the Ashtabula County APL, from lawn mowing and treatment for fleas and ticks to snow plowing and salting, services valued at about $6,000.
We struggle every single year, all year, just trying to survive. And anybody who donates anything to us is definitely greatly appreciated.
The APL relies on donations to support animals. This gift, just one more way Dick Goddard's love of 4-foots has made a real difference.
We hear about Dick Goddard's law a lot. We do face a lot of animal cruelty issues out here, and actually that's the first thing that somebody will bring up, is use Goddard's law.
Inspiring a lasting legacy long after his final forecast.
Good luck to him, and we wish him the best.
In Ashtabula County, Matt Wright, Fox 8 News.
Following Dick's lead in giving back, the Ashtabula County APL also points out that it has been overcrowded since the start of the year and has many animals right now that are up for adoption.
The hits just keep coming for Samsung. Tonight, the company is doing more damage control, this time on its Galaxy smartphones. New reports have surfaced that other Galaxy S7 devices have burst into flames, similar to what happened with the Note 7s in October. Samsung stopped production and sales of the Galaxy Note 7 phone after failing to correct a problem that caused the devices to explode. Well, now Samsung is trying to reassure customers other devices in the same family are safe, despite customer complaints. And Apple is launching its second repair program in a week. It says it will provide a free battery replacement for customers whose iPhone 6S models shut down unexpectedly. Now, just last week, Apple announced a fix for phones whose touch screens malfunctioned. If your iPhone has the issue, you can take it into an Apple store and the company will replace the battery free of charge. Well, Sabra issuing a recall of some of its hummus and spreads because of possible listeria contamination. The FDA says the affected products were manufactured at a plant where listeria has been found. So check your fridge. If you have any containers with a best before date through January 23rd, 2017, toss it. You can also apply for a refund. We have a link on fox8.com. Just click Seen on TV. Well, while the Browns season spiraled out of control, the team is in position to land the #1 pick in next spring's NFL draft.
Always looking ahead here. The Browns still searching for their franchise quarterback, as you know, after 20 years, nearly 20 years. And the guy who could be tabbed the franchise quarterback might be a former Friday Night Touchdown Player of the Year, P.J. Ziegler, live and mentor. And P.J., I remember Mitch in high school, and certainly he has all the tools.
Well, good evening, Lou and Tracy. The 2017 NFL draft class is not quarterback heavy, but one guy who could get a lot of looks in that NFL draft class is a guy who used to play high school football here at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium in Mentor. Mitch Trubisky is a guy, if he declares for the NFL, could get a lot of looks, and according to at least one report, he is high on the Browns' wish list. It's no secret, Cleveland is the town where quarterbacks come to die. Over 25 different quarterbacks have started a game for the Dog Pound since 1999. Perhaps the next quarterback the Browns draft might be different.
He's that great mix of the great thrower who can run. He's not that runner who can throw a little bit. So he's exactly what the NFL's looking for.
The junior Mitch Trubisky.
Mentor football coach Steve Trevisano is talking about his former quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, who is now playing for the University of North Carolina. Trubisky was the Friday Night Touchdown Player of the Year in 2011.
We knew we had something special at a very young age, basically because, you know, and all our younger coaches that had coached him said, this kid understands the game of football.
Over the weekend, a report surfaced that the Browns were honing in on the UNC quarterback for the 2017 NFL Draft. In the report, one NFL club evaluator was quoted as saying, "Trust me, they love him." Fox 8 spoke to Mitch Trubisky's mom, Jean, via cell phone on Monday.
I know friends and family have said how cool it would be for him to come back and play, and you know, just being so close to, you know, Cleveland itself, you know, that would be fun and exciting. But I also, at the same time, I feel like a lot of pressure for a hometown kid to come in and do that.
Trubisky is a junior at UNC. He's 6'3" and scheduled to graduate in December. He has not made up his mind about whether to declare for the NFL draft or return to play another year for the Tar Heels.
I think he's that perfect pro quarterback.
Whether or not he'll get a chance to prove it with the Browns, only time will tell. And once again, Mitch Trubisky has not made up his mind whether or not he will declare for the NFL draft or if he will return to UNC and play another year for the Tar Heels. If he does declare for the NFL draft and he does get drafted by an NFL team, he would be the first kid from Mentor High School to turn pro in 20 years.
And PJ, you know the scenario probably won't play out exactly this way, but if the Browns said, Mitch, we're going to pick you with the first pick in the draft, I got to believe he wants to come home and play for the Cleveland Browns.
I think that would be a great case. As I talked to his mom this afternoon, she said, you know, we're thinking if he does make it to the pros, we'll probably have to be all over the country chasing him to see him play. And how crazy would it be if they would just have to go 20, 25 minutes up the road and see him at First Energy Stadium? And one other quick thing, he knows Northeast Ohio. He knows what it's like to play along the lake in the wintertime. So it would be a great fit for Mitch Trubisky and a great fit for the Cleveland Browns. We'll see, though, if it comes true.
Yeah, it would be great to have him home. All right, PJ, thank you. Well, even men of the cloth have to pay up when they lose a bet.
They do, but in this particular bet, everybody came out a winner here. Bishops in Cleveland and Chicago had a little friendly wager over the World Series. Whoever won had to provide meals for 100 people in the opposite city. But today, Chicago dished up deep dish pizzas for people here, even though they won. That's very nice. Cleveland Diocese also paid up with meals from Lakewood's Italian Creation. That's a great place. People in Chicago enjoyed a Cleveland-style menu of kielbasa, sauerkraut, pierogi. It's a win-win situation. More than 200 people got a hot meal they probably would not have gotten otherwise.
That's great to see. Winners all the way around. Well, Dick Goddard, this is your life. Tonight, we look back on the incredible career of Cleveland's best-known meteorologist as we prepare for his final forecast.
And we're off to a chilly start this week, but have no fear. Things will warm up at least a little bit before we hit Turkey Day. And Black Friday, too. Melissa's back with your 8-day forecast, and it is coming up next. Just in case you haven't heard, we will tell you this. Tomorrow is the day. Dick Goddard giving his final forecast.
And we are already kicking off the celebration today with a special creation in the front yard. It's very nice, Andre.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad this is today, and this was not carved out here on Friday when we had record high temperatures of 74 degrees. This would not be recognizable even in a few hours, but hey, this is late November type stuff coming in, and I thought I'd pull out the ice comb and make sure that Dick's hair looks good. There we go. And we want to thank Aaron Kostick, our very good friend who does ice sculptures, coming out here this morning and creating this. Now you can see just exactly why there's a little spot right in the middle of the sculpture, because it's essentially two blocks put together.
You can see that there's a seam right here. The two pieces are frozen together. So for this top part, we use 2 blocks, 300 pounds each. Yeah. And each one takes 3 to 6 days to make, depending on the time of the year.
So there you have it. Aaron has done many things for us in the past, but I think this is probably number one.
I think you're right. Oh, he does such a wonderful job.
Yep.
He's been a friend of Fox 8 for a long time, Aaron Kostick. All right, Andre, thank you.
Andre, nice job with the ice comb. I have not seen that particular item before. Good job. Melissa, feeling very much like winter now, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is feeling a lot like winter with these temperatures in the 30s. We were running about 10 degrees below normal. And what you'll notice here from our Avon Lake camera, it is just from the historical Folger home. A beautiful day. A lot of white caps upon Lake Erie for its winds have been rather gusty, beginning to relax a little bit. But it did turn out to be a lovely sunset at 5:03. So yeah, it was beautiful if you're looking from the inside looking out, because it's really hard for our bodies to adapt to temperatures in the 30s now. And the wind chill today, for the most part, felt like it was in the low to mid-20s, even smack dab in the middle of the afternoon. So cold temperatures will begin to retreat, but don't expect some major warm-up like last Friday, unfortunately, if you liked that. That was a great day, though. Thanksgiving travel, big question out there, too. And then, of course, for shopping, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies on Black Friday. And as we take a look for traveling purposes, Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, we're looking at dry conditions until the evening hours. And then Thanksgiving itself, just some morning showers. Otherwise, really just a pretty quiet forecast, which is great news for those of you hitting the roadways. 35 currently at Cleveland right now, 33 Lorain and Ashtabula to the south. We have a 27 in Worcester, and we have a 29 in Akron, Canton, where look at how much lighter winds have become. At one point today, they were in there 20 to 25 and at times gusting around 30 miles an hour. Well, still, you add in a little bit of wind, and it does feel quite cold out there. A pair of 2s for Worcester and Akron, Canton feels like 27 near the Cleveland area. So we have these 30s around that have taken over completely the Great Lakes region. But you can see where temperatures are trying to retreat a little bit and moderate for 47 in St. Louis, 45 in Paducah. And yes, this is not a huge significant change, but at least I think we'll have maybe add a couple degrees here and there. So we're at least going to be stuck in the 40s as opposed to the 30s. We're going to start with the 40-degree mark for the high temperature tomorrow. It could be worse because look at upstate New York. You're looking at a lot of snow there, and those bands are bright blue, so you know there's a lot going on in that scenario. Otherwise, we are looking at a partly cloudy sky to mostly clear for us, and rain showers will move in. That's the activity going on out west that will affect us starting Wednesday evening. Lake effect snow warnings, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings across much of the middle portions of New York State. As you head out west for near the Colorado and Utah area, and also even the Dakotas and Minnesota, you have winter weather advisories and also winter storm warnings. All winter-like activity going on in terms of the warnings and advisories across the nation. Here's a look at high pressure. So the next 24 hours, things very quiet. We'll stay mostly clear tonight. We're in for a lot of sunshine tomorrow, and temperatures still running a little below normal, but at least not quite as cold as today. Tonight, we're going to go again for mostly clear, but tomorrow night will be a different story. Tomorrow night's when the clouds will begin to thicken. Wednesday, maybe you're prepping, you're going to the grocery store, you're prepping the food, or maybe you have to do some driving. The showers should not arrive until after about 6 o'clock, so after the sun sets. Mid-20s becoming mostly cloudy. Tomorrow, 40, lots of sunshine. And tomorrow, again, is that big day for Mr. Goddard's final forecast. Then Wednesday into Thursday for Thanksgiving itself, just some morning showers. And overall, for shopping purposes, looks pretty good, mostly cloudy. High temperatures will be in the 40s. Tracy and Lou, back to you.
Melissa, thank you. 24 hours from now, we will be wrapping up his Fox 8 weather career spanning more than 5 decades.
Well, before we say goodbye, we have plenty more to celebrate with the incredible career of the one and only Dick Goddard.
A legendary sign-off. Watch Dick Goddard's final forecast live Tuesday at 6, only on Cleveland's own Fox 8 News.
All month, we have celebrated the incredible career of Dick Goddard as he prepares for tomorrow's final forecast.
Earlier this year, we all celebrated a very special day in Mr. G's life, his 85th birthday. Bill Shield looks back now on some of Dick's greatest achievements, both personal and professional.
Young at Heart is more than just a popular Frank Sinatra song. It's also a way of life for Mr. Goddard. And as Cleveland's most beloved weatherman will tell you, even when you're 85, you're not really 85.
Ask Dick Goddard about his birthday, and well, he has the perfect answer for a legendary meteorologist.
When I say you're going to be 85, you say what?
Oh, I'm only 29 Celsius. I won't be 30 till next year.
Seemingly always young at heart, Dick Goddard just keeps on going here at Fox 8.
This is the greatest station I could imagine. It couldn't be better. Yeah, I'm just so lucky.
Once out of the service, Dick earned a fine arts degree at Kent State. He drew well enough that Disney wanted to interview him for a job in Hollywood. That same week, he received an offer to try television, and the rest is now more than a half-century of Cleveland TV history. At a time when weather was almost an afterthought on newscasts, Dick Goddard stood out because, as a meteorologist, he was actually qualified, if always humble.
Weather is an educated guess at best.
You were known for getting it right more than a lot of people, right?
Well, perhaps. But as I say, 10 forecasters in a room, you'll get 11 forecasts.
As he became more of a Cleveland institution, Dick Goddard used his fame to help all types of animals in any way he could.
I promote animal welfare. That's my goal. Before I go to the theme park in the sky, I want to do all I can for the four-foots.
Pets and animals also figure prominently in an event Dick started in the 1970s for his daughter Kim as a little PTA fundraiser.
You never imagined it would become what it became. Am I right?
The woolly bear?
Yes.
Oh, no. When a couple hundred people showed up that first woolly bear.
That was back in the 70s. Today, the annual Woolly Bear Parade and Festival each fall in Vermilion is the largest outdoor event in Ohio. Over 100,000 people attend each year. More people are at the Woolly Bear than are at Ohio State football games.
How's it feel to be 29 Celsius, Dick?
Well, next year I'll be 30, and so that I may not be able to handle, but being in the 20s still is great.
And he still is great. The countdown to Dick Goddard's final forecast is on. He'll deliver it at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. There are some fun surprises planned as well, making it must-see TV. We are aware, Tracy, of some of those surprises.
Oh, I can't wait.
It is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be an excellent day. And I want to thank you for joining us tonight at 6, both at home and online.
Bill and Elizabeth up next, all today's top news stories. Fox 8 News at 7. Good night, everybody.
Fox 8 News is brought to you by the Calvetta Brothers.